Hi class, I wanted to show you how to make an underlay for project 4. I took these two photos on some big white mat board with a single light source to get an idea of the shadow, but neither of these things are required. Do try and set up your photos in a way that best show the object. Don't take the photo too close to it. Wouldn't hurt to have a hand in there. It's again a reference that you can use to trace for your studies. So once you have your photos, you want to go ahead and open them up in Photoshop. And this is how I'm going to set up my underlay for Wednesday's lesson. And for the underlays, I want them on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I'm going to go ahead here and go to File, New. Here I'm going to change this to inches. I'm going to set the width to 11, the height to 8.5, this orientation to landscape. For resolution, you want 200 pixels or higher, otherwise it's going to look pixelated. And once you have all that set, I'm going to go ahead and click Create. So here's my clean sheet of paper. I'm going to go back to this first image, and using this rectangular marquee tool, I'm going to click and drag around the object I want, the bottle. Now I'm going to go to Edit and Copy. I'm on a PC, so it's Control C for me. On a Mac, I believe it's Command C. You can also see the hotkeys that I use in the bottom left of this recording. So I'm going to hit Control V to paste this. As far as navigating within Photoshop, I use the space bar. It brings up this hand tool and can drag the work surface around. If I do space bar plus Control, I can zoom in, and now I can drag it. Or space bar Control and Alt, I can zoom out. And again, on a Mac, just replace Control with Command. Once you have your image pasted in here, you want it to be a good size on the sheet. This actually came in looking pretty good, but if I want to change it, I can hit Control T or go to Edit Free Transform, provided you're on the correct layer over here. And now I can drag a corner and change the size of this. Remember, we want an object nice and big on our page, so this allows you to kind of position it for your underlay. You don't want to get too close to the edges that there's tension. But you want it to fill the page nicely. I realize a tall pump bottle would fit better on portrait layout, but because this is going to be a digital presentation, I recommend everyone use landscape for project 4 so it fits better on a screen. Once you're happy with the size and placement, you can go ahead and click Enter. Now you could just print this as is. It is just for an underlay, so this would probably be clear enough. I am going to do some slight edits to it. I like to edit the lighting with levels, so that's under Image Adjustment Levels, or again Control L or Command L. A simple way to do this is to select this dropper tool here and click on the white background, and you can see it kind of lightens it up for us. If you want to play with the settings a bit, you can kind of drag these back and forth. This one, dragging the dark slider to the right will make it a bit darker. The light slider to the left will make it a bit brighter. This one kind of takes care of the mid range. To get it somewhere close, again, it's just for a trace. I'm happy with this, and this is probably what I'll use. If you want to copy the layer before you make the edits, you can always hold down Alt and drag the layer up. That way, if you want to revert back to the original or you make a mistake, you can go back. You can also go back on mistakes with the history here and just click through the commands you've done. But that's essentially it for my underlay for Wednesday's class. I do want to have a hand in here to show the object in use. We need 3 views, and having a view with a hand is helpful. So I'm going to use the marquee tool to copy this one again. I'm going to paste it into the same document. Now you'll notice that I strategically, or maybe you didn't notice, but I'll point it out, I strategically set up my views so that they're very similar. One's just with a hand, one's without, or my photographs rather. And I'll show you how best to use this. It will make your life a bit easier. It's a way to get 2 unique drawings with minimal work, which I think we're all for these days. So now that I have this in here, I just want to scale it up to match. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go over here in the Layer tab and just knock this opacity down. Now it looks like we have double vision. I'm going to use Control T again to bring up the Command tool, or Transform tool. And now I'm just going to scale it up till the bottle matches. Again, to zoom out, I'm going to hit Spacebar, Control, and Alt, or again, Command Alt on a Mac. and then I'm just going to kind of scale it so that my hand looks like it's about the right size. I'm going to hit enter on that. Now I'm going to make my opacity back to the regular setting. Bring up some layers for this. I'm going to use the same dropper technique tool. Put this down here. And now I have my 2 underlays for today's demo.